Perfect. Salute, and welcome. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. Now swimming in the deep end with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. And yes, family, you see what you're looking at on your screen here. Oh, yes, we have to discuss this topic because it's long overdue for this lesson to be taught over here tonight, because a lot of people just aren't going to cover this topic the way that I'm going to address it. I've been meaning to do this for quite some time. And we have to talk about these wealthy, deranged degenerates. And this broadcast is going to be primarily for the ladies in our community, but it applies to brothers as well, because it's going to be a reminder of one of these scriptures in the Bible that a lot of people misquote, because a lot of people think that money is the root of all evil, and that's not true. Money is a non-sentient object, okay? It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. The love of it, not money itself, okay? So ladies, what you're looking at on the screen here, ladies, do you think all bags are worth it? Do you think all bags are worth it? Because see, what we're going to be discussing here tonight, let me tell you something. This is one of the problems, and this affects all communities, but what do y'all always understand that I tell you, I'm only concerned about Black America. This whole chasing the bag, chasing the bag, chasing the bag, chasing the bag, everybody chasing the bag, everybody trying to get to the bag. Okay, that's good. There's nothing wrong with getting to the bag. You just better understand that some of these bags that y'all are chasing, they come with certain consequences that you may not be prepared to deal with. Because see, the situation that we're going to be discussing here, we're going to be comparing and contrasting the Vince McMahon and P. Diddy situations. Now, unless you're under a rock somewhere, you all know that they've been hit with, charges and allegations. They're going to have some, legalities coming up in the court system with accusers, one being Cassie accusing Diddy, and this other woman here accusing Vince McMahon of all kinds of heinous things. Ladies, y'all better understand something, man. A lot of you have this fantasy of being with very wealthy men, or, being around them for, not only what they can do for you, but the access that they give you to certain types of lifestyle that many of you have seen on TV. But then when you get around these people, a lot of these women tend to not understand that there's a cost that comes with that. Because, see, unfortunately, I'm not going to say everybody, but a large majority of these people that are in Hollywood, a lot of these athletes, these entertainers, whatever the case may be, that are making multi-million-dollar figures, okay, and these billionaires, okay, they tend to look at people that don't have what they have as insignificant. They tend to look at them as if, okay, if you're going to be close to me, What are you going to do to earn what I'm going to be able to do for you? And a lot of times that goes far beyond what the average person may be thinking. The average woman may be thinking, okay, I'm dealing with this dude. I'll just open my legs up. I can get whatever I want from him. But no, you're going to see that deranged mindset, it goes far beyond just anything involving, having sex with you. Oh no, it goes far beyond that. And see, unfortunately, there are a lot of women in our community that they think that the only thing that matters is getting close to a man with some money, but you don't take into account, is this a decent person? Does this person have mental health issues? They don't take into account none of that. Just get to the bag. Sometimes it's cost the sisters in our community their lives, okay? And that's very unfortunate. I never celebrate things like that. But see, some of this can be avoided, ladies, if you just check that damn greed. See, all this emphasis on money. Okay, yes, it's good to get the money, but all money is not good money. There are some things that you better understand. What's the price you willing to pay to get to people that are very wealthy that you think? Because see, let me go into detail about that lifestyle that many of the wealthy have. Okay, we're talking about the extravagantly wealthy. If you look at a common denominator between most of them, notice that there's always some weird happenings going on around them from the people that they know of, okay? It's always some weird happenings. And salute to my good brother, Project Leroy. Welcome to you, my brother. Everybody else will probably be joining once they get the notifications. But here's the thing. A lot of times what ends up happening is they don't understand that these wealthy people that have had access to money for so long, they can do whatever they want to do. They've become bored with that, because for the average person that doesn't have that type of wealth, they don't understand what it's like to always have access to any and everything that you want. So after you've done that for a number of years, people that worship money, they become bored. They'll be like, okay, I've done all that stuff. What else can I do next? Okay. In other words, they start leaning towards these laws that are on the books. That don't mean nothing to me. I'm wealthy. I should be able to do what I want. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. You would think that most black people, no matter how much money they have, that they will have the sense enough to know that they cannot do what the white man, the wealthy white man in America can do, but they don't. They don't. A lot of them, the further they get away from the average black person in society that doesn't have access to that kind of wealth, they start thinking that they can do what the white man do. And a lot of times they find out that they can't. Okay, that's just not going to happen, because see, all you have to do is look at the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. Now, he was poor white trash, but he had $1 million worth of whiteness that no black person will ever be able to afford. Now, when you start to look at situations where these guys in our community, some of them, the ones that it applies to, like Puffy and the rest of them, they get money, they think, okay, let me imitate what I've seen white men do. You may not believe this, but they start to think that literally does insulate them from the consequences of being in a system of white supremacy. So I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people got mad about the broadcasts that I did on old P. Diddley. I did a couple of them. I'm not putting the cape on for that bastard, because there is some truth to a lot of what was said, okay? Am I going to say Cassie was telling the complete truth? No, because I called her out on her bullshit as well. You don't stay with somebody for 10 plus years and claim they made you do something against your will. You had to be into that. However, when it comes to looking at those kinds of situations, this is the part that a lot of the simp class won't say. And you know I don't give a damn about saying it, because y'all are going to be seeing this first, but I will be premiering this on my main YouTube channel, but y'all going to be getting first access to it over here on Patreon. The way that you actually help sisters in our community, you tell them the truth about themselves. See, America has been designed today to make women think that they can do no wrong. Okay, they're always perfect and everything is a man's fault. Let me tell you something, ladies, one of your biggest enemies, besides being led astray by your emotions because you're not thinking straight, is your greed. All about me, everything for me. Sometimes that greed puts you in life-threatening situations. So now that y'all have the gist of what we're going to be discussing here tonight, we're going to get forward into this lesson, because see, many people just not going to see it like this. And let me be crystal clear. There is nothing wrong with aspiring to earn as much as you can earn. There's nothing wrong with maximizing whatever God-given talents you have. And if that leads you to becoming wealthy, there's nothing wrong with that. You definitely need money in this system to survive. The point that I'm making is that a lot of people are not going to cover when you start to worship money and worship material things. Let me tell you something, man, before we get into this. I don't care how wealthy you are. If any of these people that have this exorbitant wealth that the average person will never see, if any of them came down with a terminal illness, they would trade all that money to be well again. Every last dime of it. You understand me? So we're going to put some things in the context tonight here about that idolatry, because see, that's something that too many people just don't address these days because it's not the trendy thing to do. I don't give two shits about trendy. I care about the health and well-being of my people. Okay. So we're going to get started here, right? We're going to get right into this because many of you have probably seen this, right? Vince McMahon named black sex toys after black WWE wrestlers, white sex toys after Caucasian. Okay. Yeah, this is according to the New York Post. Y'all can find this article for yourselves. Let me tell you something. Dealing with these wealthy white men like this, whether it's a Vince McMahon or you look at the Clippers, the former Clippers owner. What was the Jewish guy's name? What was his name? I cannot remember his name. Donald Sterling, that guy. When you look at the Donald Sterlings, okay, the Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, y'all got to understand, particularly, especially when it comes to dealing with black people, but really this applies even to their own people that don't have that kind of money. They don't look at people that are not wealthy like them as human beings. They look at you pretty much just like this article is saying. They look at you as some type of toy. You don't, they look at you as something to be amused, because in their sick minds, they think that, okay, whatever you get from me, that means that I have the right to do any and everything to you, no matter, even if it means something that's harming you or something deranged degenerate. Because a lot of this stuff that's been alleged about Vincent, man, I know, yeah, it's got to be some truth to it, because I don't know how many of you are wrestling fans or what have you. I used to watch it like, earlier back in the day before it got to what it is now. I hadn't watched it in years, but the rumors were always out there about his erratic and eccentric behavior. And like, if you've ever spent any amount of time around very wealthy people, and a lot of people are like, well, what you know about it, GBS? I keep telling y'all, I run an executive security firm. Me and my uncles know all about how a lot of these people that a lot of y'all think y'all want to meet, we know a lot about how they carry themselves. It would shock a lot of you, okay? And let me tell you something. From their attitudes, I'm going to tell you how you know the worst of them. The way they treat people that serve them. Ladies, this is something you better pay attention to, because this affects primarily a lot of y'all that want to run around and get to the bag. This is one telltale sign that you're dealing with somebody that's very wealthy that you might not want to get involved with. I don't care what they do, actor, athlete, entertainer, whatever it is. I don't care how big a crush you have on them. I'm trying to talk some sense into you. Pay attention. If you dealing with somebody, when they dealing with people that serve them and they treat people that serve them in an untoward or very rude manner, that is not someone that you need to be dealing with. Let me tell you now, you better sit back and watch how they treat people that serve them at restaurants or any type of service position. If they have that fucked up attitude, like the person just is anything they doing, you know what I'm saying? It's always wrong. And I'm talking about if the person that's serving them isn't deliberately doing something untoward that you can notice, you might better watch out about calling yourself trying to get close to them, because let's be honest. Out of men and women will always be able to get closer to whoever they admire that's a male celebrity than men will be able to get closer to female celebrities. Very few men that can get close to the females that they would consider attractive celebrities, okay? Because, see, all you have to do is spend time at places like an All-Star Weekend. Oh, boy, the thoughts line up year after year trying to see who they can get pregnant by, one of them dumbass athletes. They're trying to find the next PJ Washington. Y'all always trying to put themselves in like some type of situation where they think they're getting over. But see, in reality, ladies, let me tell you something. The minute that you start scheming and plotting to do things like that, you end up in situations like we're going to be reviewing here tonight. Because Some of those allegations are quite graphic. Plenty of people have covered this, but they're not going to cover it the way I'm going to cover it over here tonight. It's one thing for you to enjoy, having freaky sex or whatever, because listen, everybody likes to do different things, okay? But it's another one anytime you start involving waste from the human body, whether it's urine or feces. Now, at that point, you going into a territory where not only is the person who's engaging in a damn degenerate, if your raggedy ass as a woman is willing to sit there and let somebody piss on you or shit on you, something is wrong with you too. See, ladies, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard about those Dubai porta potty stories. Let me tell you something, man. Oh my God, y'all don't understand that for those of you that probably think that's not real, it is very real. It is very real. Most of those women that do that are non-FBA, but I'm not going to sit here and act like there are no FBA sisters that go over there and get that done to them too. They are, but they are of the hood rat class, because most of our sisters have sense enough to use their talk game and talk Zaddy up out his pockets, okay? But the hood rat class is not that bright. Look, all they have to do is get the opportunity. They'll let people do whatever to them. Now, let's think about that for a minute. Because, see, this is a white woman that's making the allegations against Vince McMahon. Do you understand? And see, this is what the average guy doesn't get. You don't even have to be exorbitantly wealthy in order to start seeing the things that women will do to be close to a man that they consider having money in excess to the point that it affords them a lifestyle that they wouldn't ordinarily have access to. Do you understand? Look, let me break it down. Let me make it make sense. Do you understand what the average security for celebrities have the opportunity to do? I want you to stop and think about that. Whether it's your favorite artist on their tour bus, or they guarding access to that celebrity or whatever's hotel room or the venue they're going to be staying at. Do you understand what a lot of these damn goofy groupies would do just to get close to the celebrity? A lot of y'all have probably heard the stories about helpers getting the train ran on them just to get to a celebrity. That is very true. And unfortunately, that is very true and disgusting. It does happen. And this is why I've cautioned over the years many times, brothers, a lot of y'all, man, these chicks are just so starstruck over these athletes and entertainers. Listen, I'm going to reveal a secret over here that I hadn't really gone into, but it's time to do it. If you got one of these girls that's always talking about girls' trips, you better start looking at this. Because, see, this is what a lot of guys don't understand about that damn girls' trip, right? If a woman is single, she can do whatever the hell she wants. But if she's in a committed relationship or a marriage, fellas, you better start looking at where some of these favorite celebrities of theirs be hanging out and at what times they go there. Because, see, the thing about these types of groupies, and you better pay attention, guys. The things about these type of groupies, they are insane to the point of worshiping these damn celebrities. They'll do anything to get close to them. So if they get in certain circles around people that have been around them, they'll find out what's the favorite resort this person likes to go to, whether it's in Jamaica or wherever the case may be, and they'll start trying to plan these girls' trips to intersect with them. You understand? They take Sneaky Link to a whole nother level. So that's some game a lot of people don't really talk about. Boy, y'all better pay attention. You really have to, for men and women today, you really have to be a very studious judge of character. If not, it'll come back to bite you. Okay? So now getting further into this Vince McMahon situation, we're going to get into a lot of the stuff that was said, okay, and alleged, and we're going to take a different angle from it from some of the people that have worked with him. And you're going to hear what they're going to have to say. And a lot of what they're going to say, it's going to be so many lessons in this about how dominant society stays on code about certain things. But I'm tying this into the puffy thing for the women in our community because, see, just like Cassie, Nasty Cassie, as I like to call her, unfortunately, a lot of these chicks and brothers, this where my young men have to pay attention to, my young black men. You see a lot of these chicks, you be like, wow, she's beautiful, boy, she's this, she's that. And you be thinking that just because a woman looks a certain way the naive amongst you and the inexperienced think that, okay, this woman looks this way, or she has this career, she would never do this, would never do that. Bullshit. And I'm telling you, somebody that has worked executive security, okay, running in my own firm, the things that I have seen these damn groupies do. You be thinking that one of the worst things that a person will have to worry about is somebody running up trying to harm somebody. Umar Johnson got caught up in a situation. I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably heard about that. Umar is going to get caught up because Umar be running them hoes. He be tricking. Let's just go ahead and call that what it is. That's a whole nother broadcast for another day. But if you the type of dude that's out here playing around with these helpers, man, that's dangerous because, see, a lot of them, at best, you will have to worry about them. You know, you getting with them, they pissy drunk or high, whatever, then they try to Me Too your ass. Or if you're stupid enough to run up in one on Raw, now you on the hook for a damn baby, okay, and looking crazy like Boo Boo the Fool. But the most dangerous among some of them, let me tell you something, man. A warfare tactic that we often warn some of our clientele about is you better understand that your enemies that are men that cannot get to you because they know you're going to be looking, it ain't enough for them to send a bitch your way. You understand? Boy, I'm telling y'all do not understand how hard-headed some of them are about that. And you tell them, be like, listen, if you paying for someone to protect you, you better listen because we can only protect you if you cooperate with us, okay? Anybody that runs any type of security will tell you that. You need the cooperation of your clientele in order to successfully protect them from whatever threat may be after you lay out the security plan according to what their needs are, okay? And sometimes you get hard-headed folks that get themselves in situations. Now, those of us that care about the people that work for us, we tell them up front, we are not going to put our team in an unnecessary risk situation because you got a hard-ass head. The second that we see you not cooperating, you're going to have to find somebody else, okay? Now, a lot of them will listen to you if you put it to them like that, but I have seen some things over the years, man, y'all just don't understand. Y'all really do not understand. So getting back to this Vince McMahon situation, right? We got to tie it into old Pedidley because, see, let me show y'all something. This is Vince McMahon, and this is the woman that's accusing him of all the despicable, vile things that they saying this bastard has done. And look, if you watch any of the wrestling from back in the day, especially in the Attitude Era, which would have been like in the 90s, 2000s, remember the whole Kiss My Ass club that he had? That was the first clue for anybody right there to let you know what kind of stuff this bastard was into. And then, see, I'm going to tell you something right now, man. If I was a wrestler, I don't care how much I was getting paid. The minute that another grown man, being that I'm a straight man, telling me, talking about you going to kiss my asses for TV, it's a joke. Oh, no, that's my last day. Hey, that's my last day on the job. But some of them was going along with it. Now, I got to go here. For any straight man to go along with that, I got to be graphic here with this. That's letting you know something about those kinds of men. Now, you think about all the men that went along with that shit. Because it was quite a few. Stuff like that was never funny to me. I was just looking at it like, damn, it's actually a grown man gonna go through with this bullshit. But that should let you know that, think back to the Terry Crews situation. What kind of relationship did they have with Vince McMahon? I got to put it out there. Think about it. If you remember, there was an interview that Razor Ramon, the wrestler, deceased wrestler Razor Ramon, he said that Vince McMahon told him about his experiences being with other men. So, Vince is old freaky deaky bastard, all right? So now, as the story goes, the allegations that this lady here is making against him, it was a situation where, okay, she needed some money or whatever. I think something about somebody in her family had died or what have you. And then here comes old Vince McMahon, so they stay in the same building. Her goofy ass thinking, hey, I'm talking to a billionaire. I'm going to get something for free. See, ladies, let me tell y'all something, man. The people that care about you the most will deflate that overinflated ego a lot of y'all have. You be thinking that you're so goddamn special that, hey, this billionaire chose me. And you're exactly right, Project Leroy, humiliating his employees. See, that's another sign that goes into what I'm trying to tell these sisters about watching out for like certain types of people, these men that are very wealthy they want to get next to. That's a character flaw, okay? I don't care how much money you have. You can't fix a damn character flaw. That's something internal with your spirit. But see, this heifer right here, like a lot of women do. They tell themselves they're so much special, head and shoulders above the rest, and that, hey, I'm gonna get over. I beat all these other women to this billionaire. Okay, yeah, you did. But see, what you don't understand is, for a lot of the women this applies to, what has he already got in his mind about what he's going to make you do? Because first of all, they can smell it just like a predator chasing some prey. When you looking at him with these googly eyes and you so starstruck just to be next to him. And then he's already got in his mind like, yeah, you think you gonna get over on me. Yeah, I'm gonna break bread, but you gonna have to earn this. And I'm gonna have you doing all kinds of things that you wouldn't believe. Now, this is why a lot of these deranged wealthy degenerates are so damn bad. A lot of y'all, because the average person can't even fathom a lot of this shit they do. But I'm going to tell you, because I've seen that behavior. What a lot of them do, they tell themselves, okay, all the rest of them did this. You are no different than the rest. So any women that comes into their vicinity, they're like, yeah, you just like all the rest of them. You got your hand out, and yeah, I've got plenty to spare, but you going to let me amuse myself with you no matter what I want to do, even if that means giving you the golden shower or turning you into a damn porta potty. So now, this is the thing here that I have to warn my young black men about. This applies to some women, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it does. Some of you find out after they've done so much and things start getting exposed. And see, usually, the exposure usually happens from some of their female friends that they're competing with to get to that guy. Because look, the thought class, not only are they degenerate and disgusting, they're very cutthroat as far as competition, because I got to go there. The thought class in any society, okay, they don't have any intelligence or natural skill sets, and they're not trying to learn anything, because if you start trying to talk about anything with knowledge around a damn thought, she's going to reject that immediately. It's like a sunlight to a damn vampire. So they know that their survival depends on if they can get access to a wealthy person and whatever they have to do to knock out the competition. So a lot of them will dime their homegirls out, stuff that most men would never find out unless you work in certain professions, okay, like executive security, which you're going to get to see a lot of things that most people wouldn't. So what they'll do, they'll say, okay, let me go ahead and leak her information out. See, a lot of these tapes that y'all be like, okay, where do these sex tapes come from? Hey, that'd be a lot of thoughts getting access to their homegirl stuff and putting it out there so that they can get her out the way. Ruin her reputation. Hey, one less person I got to compete with. I'm telling y'all, man, it's cutthroat. So now, this heifer that you're looking at here, she agreed to go along with a lot of the stuff that Vince wanted to do. And I say it's similar to the Cassie situation, because if you read up on the story, she was quiet until because he had her sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, for those that don't know. And the caveat about a non-disclosure agreement, as you found out in New York with P. Diddy, okay, Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him, that only applies to things unless the law was broken. So that's the loophole that everybody's getting around now. And ladies, let me tell you something. That's another thing too. If you got to sign a non-disclosure agreement to be around somebody, that's your cue that you might not want to be fucking with that person. But see, what this heifer here did, the reason why I compare her to Cassie, as far as with the bullshit, she was supposed to get $3 million or something like that if she didn't say anything or what have you. They only paid her like one, because look, all of them going to shortchange you because they look at you. See, let me be blunt with this, because I want the women to understand. It's hard for a lot of women to get, because most women don't tell other women this because y'all don't understand. The wealthy class, like a Vince McMahon or Puff Daddy, you don't really register as no damn human being to you. I want you to understand that the stuff that I'm going to show you in this broadcast tonight. If somebody's willing to piss in your face or take a dump on you, do you really think that person sees you as a human being? See, this is stuff that a lot of women ain't going to talk about. And look, for those, even if you subscribed over here to my Patreon and you don't like hearing this, oh well, you can't say the information isn't out there. For those that will be listening to this, when I decide to premiere it on my main YouTube channel, you ain't got to listen either, because I'm one of the only people that you're going to hear talk to you this way. Let me tell you something. If they're willing to do that to you, they don't look at you as a human being. How could you? You are the equivalent of a damn toilet seat. That's it. And then they already look at you with this contempt, because they got this twisted, degenerate mindset of, okay, if you asking me for something, I'll do this for you. How dare you? Not worthy of my money. So I'm going to spend it on you, but I'm going to humiliate you and dog you out. as much as humanly possible, even that mean beating on you or whatever. I mean, the stuff is degenerate, okay? So that's what you better be thinking about. All this get to the bag, okay? What price are you willing to pay to get to the bag, all right? So now, we got to look at some other things here because, see, going back to old Pedently, yes, sir. Let me tell you something, man. This is bad news. I hate to see this happen to any black man, but like I kept saying, there's certain things that can be avoided if you use your common sense. And Diddy trying to imitate white men, and he's not the only one. He's gotten himself in a situation behind not only Cassie, but all these other women are coming out the woodwork. Me too. Because as soon as Cassie was able to get that back, which was not disclosed, by the way, she did not get the entire sum. That's not how settlements work. But she did get some millions. It just wasn't close to what everybody was talking about. It's never the full amount. The rest of them helpers were like, oh, no, I was laid up with him, too. And see, I don't be surprised, because, see, she's got access to money. So she's probably not going to pull it. But don't be surprised if Lori Harvey said, all right, now, hey, you and your son was passing me around. That's another nasty piece of shit right there. She ain't nothing. I know a lot of men are like, oh, Lori Harvey. Let me tell you something, dude. Any bitch that's willing to lay up with not only the son of a man, but lay up with his father, do you really think that woman is worth a damn? I don't give a fuck how she look. And see, I'm going to be covering that whole Usher situation too. Oh, that's going to be on my main channel. Oh, I'm going to hurt some feelings with that one across the board. But I got to tell it like it is on that, because some of this is going to tie into that. Look at your screen here. And the Sister Lovely T covered this, so give her proper attribution. 18 companies cut ties with Sean Combs' business venture in wake of sexual assault allegations. So that's what's going around about Mr. Sean Combs. And I'm putting this on the screen because I want to talk to my young black men that might be listening to this, all right? I don't care how much you love women, okay? I don't care whatever your physical specifications are that do it for you. Don't endanger your wealth behind chasing some ass, and definitely not doing something to somebody that's against their will. Let me tell you something. You better, when you get to certain levels, even before you become a multimillionaire, because that's not in the cards for everybody, but even if you a brother, let's just say you making $75,000, you finally got to the 6-figure mark, okay? You in the $150,000, $200,000 range. Let me tell you something, man. A lot of these women that be running up to you, all that, you better become very guarded about them touching up on you or any damn thing. You better become very guarded, because if you don't, let me give you something to think about here. See, I like to make people think. I don't just tell you about all the fancy shit that you can buy and access and status and all that other goofy shit that people talk about. Yeah, that's a part of it. But you don't turn your brain off when you get wealth. You're in a better position to protect yourself legally. You have access to certain things that you didn't. But money doesn't change you. It just makes you more of who you already are. That's the first thing a lot of people don't understand. So if a lot of these women start coming up to you, especially if they weren't fucking with you like that before and they see you got it now, you better watch it, because a lot of them would be like, you know what? If he ain't choosing me, then the next thing I need to do is, hey, let's hit him with an allegation. So I'm going to give you a scenario, fellas, because I want y'all to be smart. And ladies, you can learn something from this too, because if you got sons that you love, you can teach them as well. Let's just say you a wealthy guy, okay? You hadn't quite got to Diddy's place yet, as far as like on the monetary scale, tax bracket rather, but you on your way. We're going to give you, let's just say you done work hard, whatever your craft is, entrepreneur, you done discover some type of talent. I'm going to put you, let's just say you finally 150 grand a year, 200 grand a year, all right? That's them become known now, all right? Let's just say you might be a little reckless with running your mouth, trying to floss and show people stuff. That kind of person. Don't you know that if you out somewhere, even if it's a public venue, and some drunk heifer come up to you and sit on your lap and start kissing on you and stuff, you sitting there thinking that you got it made, man, you better get that bitch away from you. You better hear me when I'm talking to you. A lot of y'all be like, man, what you talking about, GBS? What you mean? Let me tell you what I mean. Because it ain't nothing for that bitch to have set up there and say, you know what, girl? I'm going to get to the bag. Fuck it. He ain't choosing me. I got something for him. Let me take my drunk ass over here, get physical with him, And now you thinking it's consensual, but in America, all of you men have seen this. All she got to do is claim that she was not coherent or in her right frame of mind because she was drunk. This is why I have that strict rule. Y'all have heard me say it many times. I do not deal with women when they drunk. If I don't know you like that, I had known you to the point where I can consider us having a drink together and we be alone like that. I don't fuck around with no drunk bitches. That is not cute to me. Fuck that. I did not work this hard as I worked in my life to get to where I am, to have it all thrown away because I didn't have the common sense to leave a drunk bitch alone. I don't give a fuck. A lot of women get mad when you say that. But see, let me tell you something, fellas. You better start side-eyeing women that you tell, hey, I don't deal with drunk women or high women. Yeah, we're not. Don't argue with them. Look at their reaction because, see, that's a protection for both of you if you want to be honest. I've never been the type of man that want to be involved with any woman that's not in her right frame of mind because today, all they got to do is say, hey, I was drunk. He took advantage of me. I don't remember what happened. Now, you may be the furthest thing from that kind of person, but all she got to do is make the claim and see, like my father always taught me, there's not one dime in this world worth your reputation. Once a black man's, and I'm highlighting black man's because we're the one that get the worst of it. We always guilty until proven innocent. For a black man, once your reputation is damaged in the public eye, brother, it is hard to recover from that, if at all. Look at the situation with the brother Nate Parker. He was acquitted of dealing with that Becky, but I keep telling brothers, look at Jonathan Majors, stay out the mayonnaise. Yes, I know all women are capable of doing this deceitful, devious things. I am not oblivious to that, but I'm telling you, you better look at that particular one has a history of lying on black men, going back to Emmett Till on forward, George Stinney Jr. on forward, okay? You better pay attention to that. Now, I know a lot of knuckleheads, well, you could dick policing. Okay, hey, I'm not policing nobody's Johnson. I'm only worried about this one, okay? I just know the situation I'm not going to find myself in if I can help it. Y'all can go do whatever you want to do. This ain't for the dummies, okay? But for you smart brothers, self-control is something that's a great protection for you as a man. You understand me? I've given this analogy many times. Let's just say whatever your favorite dessert is, cake, whatever, all right? Just because you can eat the whole thing in a short amount of time doesn't mean you should. Yeah, sure. Nobody can stop you. It's yours. You can do it. Exercise that discipline, though. You might say, okay, I'm only going to have a slice or two a day and leave it at that. Now, a lot of y'all probably like, well, what does that have to do with building discipline? Because it shows you have self-control over something that you enjoy and have carte blanche access to. But the greatest protection for a man is the ability to tell yourself no, not other people. You having the ability to tell yourself no and adhere to that. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people talking about get into the bag. I'm going to put something on your mind that a lot of y'all probably don't realize. You can have all the money in the world. You could be a multi-billionaire, trillionaire. Show me the man or woman without discipline, and I will show you somebody with a lot of money that's easily defeated. Why? Because lack of discipline is a weakness. You understand me, brothers? You got a lot of men that tell you about getting to the bag, oh, money, status, this, that, the third, but they're not telling you what I'm telling you. You better hear me. These are the lessons that were passed down from my grandparents, and they have served me well to this day. I have never been accused of nothing, and knock on wood, by God's grace, I never will be accused of anything because I move very carefully out here as a black man, okay, with something to lose. See, a lot of people don't understand that when you work that hard, for men and women, and you got something to lose, don't think that that money is going to protect you if you put yourself, key word, put yourself in certain situations. Then you start trying to do what you see them folks doing. That's why Puffy in the situation he in. That's on him. He made those decisions. Because a lot of people be looking at their, oh, man, they're just trying to bring a black man down. No, not this time. No, that's been too many allegations over the years. I'm all for innocent till proven guilty. Let the evidence play out. But what I'm saying is, all them people are not lying on this man. They're not, man. They're not. All you got to do is really look at his behavior over the years to know it's the truth to what's been said about him. Okay? So what I'm saying to my people, those of you that have the ear to listen, okay? Because protection begins with an open ear. Please do not try to emulate these people. I'm saying this to black men and women alike. Do not idolize and emulate and worship these celebrities, because a lot of you that are not around them on a regular basis, and I guarantee you this, most of you, and I'm talking directly to the ladies on this, most of you, if you were to spend 24 hours around some of these men that you think that you want to have something to do with, I'm talking about, oh, they so attractive. Oh, look at all this money they got. Ooh, look where they driving. Look where they live. Ooh, girl, this, that, the third. You know how some of y'all talk about them. A lot of y'all, if you spent 24 hours, those of you that have some decency to you, you'll be like, oh, hell no. This motherfucker got a cocaine habit? Damn, look, I didn't know he was into this. Oh, my God, what is it? You know, I'm trying to tell y'all, do not understand. I mean, the only way that you would get, look, I tell you what you do, ladies, for those of you that are decent women listening to this, because this is one way you might get some verification on what I'm saying if you're the type of woman that hasn't had that type of access to some of these celebrities. And this is going to make you clutch your pearls, but I'm trying to help you out. I'm giving you some research to do, because you will be able to get this information faster than a man will that's not where he can see some of these things. Think about the most whorish friend that you know. Yeah, I'm going here. This is for a reason. Thinking about the most whorish friend that you know, the most whorish female friend that you got, okay? I'm talking about super thotty karate, turbo thought supreme. The one that you know, okay? Verified. A lot of women try, a lot of pride, well, I don't know, I've never been around them. Okay. Y'all know who the hoes are that you probably kind of cool with. Next time that you have any dealings with them, and I wouldn't advise that you be around where they at, because, hey, listen, how men look at it today, holes of a filter flock together. Maybe making a phone call or a text or something, because, you know, these degenerate turbo thighs, they don't mind telling all their business to other women. You know, some of them. Just talk to them about the wildest thing they've ever done. You know, just casually bring up the conversation. Ask them, have they ever been, you know, to an all-star weekend, or ever been backstage at one of their favorite artists' concerts, and then just listen to her talk. You know what I'm saying? Just, and you might be surprised at what you hear. You may be surprised and disgusted, but listen, this is the caveat. Do not react with disgust. Just be silent and hold in your reaction, because if you find one that get to talking, you're going to be like, oh my God, bitch, I did not know that you had all this going on. I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. You better hear me on this, because see, even if you're not that type of woman, you getting that type of information allows you to teach the daughters that you have, that you care about, hey, look, I get it. It's guys out there that y'all have crushes on, that you want to get next to, but everything that glitter ain't gold. And see, now, if you pass that information on, at least you put the template in their mind that shows them that, hey, look, that's what mama was telling me about. That's what dad was telling me about. Okay. So I don't want to be with my little groupie friends that gonna get access to get on the tour bus and go backstage with Usher or whoever. Okay. Oh boy, y'all just wait till I cover that broadcast on my main channel about that damn Super Bowl fuckery. Oh boy, I'm gonna break the internet with that one. But I digress. Make sure you educate your children with those real conversations, especially in those teenage years. Don't you be one of these parents where you want to shelter them from everything, because see, the real world is out there. They're going to be in it without you. One day you're not going to be there. You want to make sure that you give them all the tools they need so they don't run into a P. Diddy or a Vince McMahon. They don't be the little silly helper that's so thirsty to be around a damn wealthy man that you'll let them do any and everything to you. Because see, in some of them cases, we've heard about them over the years. I've covered them on my main channel. Sometimes it's drug overdoses involved. Sometimes it's sexual assaults involved. Sometimes it's murder involved. See, that's the other side of the Dubai porta potty crap they don't tell you about. Some of them chicks don't come back. Some of those continental African women that they lure over there talking about chances of getting a better life, hey, they take their passports, don't nobody ever see their asses again. I'm telling you now. And see, a lot of our women love to run and go over to Dubai. On the surface, it's like it's under the Shia Muslim religion. Okay, Shia law, Sharia law, whatever. But there's an underworld everywhere in the world. I'm going to say it again. There's an underworld everywhere in the world. Those religious rules do not apply to their wealthy class. It's all kind of dirty, filthy, foul, disgusting things. Dubai is one of the human trafficking hubs of the world, okay? Let's just go ahead and put it out there. All right. So a lot of y'all just want to go run over to Dubai all of a sudden. Because I be seeing that with a lot of the sisters, man. And I be concerned about that. Because a lot of y'all just see a bunch of women going somewhere. You don't do no damn research on where you're heading. And then you get in situations where you don't even understand the culture of a place that you're going to. You don't understand the rules. Okay. Like the sister Tierra Allen that almost got locked up over there for life. Let me tell you something, Dubai. And when you get to the Eastern world in general, all that cursing and yelling at men and shit, they don't play that shit over there. Women are looked at as less than. I'm just calling it like it is. A lot of people don't want to tell you that. Don't believe me. Travel, sit and observe. Travel, sit and observe. That's all you have to do. You better understand that over there in the United Arab Emirates, they just recently started allowing women to drive in some of them countries. Don't believe me. Do your own research, okay? So I just wanted to put that out there about, some of the lessons that need to be taught regarding like idolizing these money and these celebrities. But we're going to get further than this. Oh, yeah, we got more to cover here, okay? But see, this needs to be talked about, all right? We're going to play some of what's going on here with the Vince McMahon allegations. And family, I want y'all to pay close attention to this. I'm going to save most of my commentary until about halfway through this because we're going to be dealing with exactly what he's looking at. And the reason that I'm covering this for any brother that's in my chat room, because I know I have a lot of well-to-do listeners, okay? And I'm proud of all of you young black men and older brothers that have made it or are on your way to making it. Please listen to this. I understand the temptation that comes with when you finally get you some bread if you're not used to it, and it starts allowing you access to things that you've always wanted to do, always wanted to try. The women are going to look at you different. I'm pleading with you. Please listen to me. Use his situation and let it be a reminder that we cannot do what those white men are doing, nor should we want to if we are decent in our right frame of mind. And before I let this play, because, like I said, some of you could be listening. Let me give you an exercise that you do when you finally get your money right. Because I do it all the time. I'm not going to tell you to do nothing that I don't do. One of the things you have to do to make sure that you stay humble and grounded when you see a lot of people that don't tell you no about things, or you start saying that you can get into all these places that you can never get into before, you have to make sure that you take a step back and just humble yourself and detach from doing things that involve money, money, money. Now, I know you like, what the hell you mean, GBS? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just do natural things, okay? Get out there. How many of you go out somewhere where there's just wilderness or land or, just do things that don't involve spending an exorbitant amount of money? Be alone with your own thoughts. Get to know yourself. Ground yourself, because other people can assist you with that. But at the end of the day, as people, we can only control what we do. Okay? Keep your spirits pure. You understand me? Nobody's perfect. None of us are saints. That is not what I'm saying. What I am telling you is the minute that you start letting the money own you instead of you owning the money, you'll be in a situation like Vince McMahon as a black person, and you're not going to come out of it chances like he going to come out of it. Because, see, I'm going to predict what's going to happen. I don't think Vince McMahon is going to see a prison cell. What's going to happen is he's wealthy enough to pay most of these people off. They've already taken him off the board of directors of the company over there at WWE. But he going to pay them off and they're going to shut up. And it's not going to hurt him. He's got enough, money. Because trust me, they underreport what he's really worth. He's worth a lot more than that. He going to pay him off. He going to be out the company. And he going to be cool. You know what I'm saying? And going to continue doing what he do. He just going to start traveling to other places to do it. And see, before I let this play, I'm going to drop a little secret on y'all that a lot of y'all probably should know, but may not know. When he does retire from the public eye, what he's going to do, he's going to start going to these Caribbean and African nations. Mark my words. You know why? Because they're looking at how they're idolized when they go to these places. See, there's a reason why if you go on a plane and go to the African continent, why it's a whole bunch of white folks going there, especially if it's got money. They know the things that they can get away with if they're a wealthy white person because of how them folks look at them over there. Just got to call it what it is for that tether class, okay? They will do anything for money. So as I get ready to let this play, brothers, I'm going to say it yet again. Use this as a permanent marker in your mind of what you should not be trying to emulate. It's not normal. And if you try it as a black man, you're not going to have a favorable outcome. Let's let this play.
Biggest names in the entertainment industry has once again stepped down after accusations of rape, assault, and human trafficking. We're analyzing the 67-page lawsuit against 78-year-old WWE founder Vince McMahon and bringing you some of the most shocking details. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Janelle Grant, a former staffer in WWE's legal and talent departments, has filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court against World Wrestling Entertainment, more commonly known as WWE, Vince McMahon, the founder of WWE and executive chairman, and John Laurinaitis, a retired wrestler and head of the talent relations department for WWE. Now, this was filed in Connecticut because McMahon and Grant are both Connecticut citizens, and Connecticut is where WWE headquarters is based. Now, first, let me tell you, before we even get into this lawsuit, a couple of things. We are mentioning her name, Janelle Grant, because she has chosen to be publicly identified. That's number one. Number two, this lawsuit includes very, very sexually explicit text messages and descriptions that we cannot show you here. We just will not do it. But what we are going to do is break down some of the most disturbing allegations as best as we can. So to start, there is a line at the beginning of this complaint that I thought was very interesting. And it says, quote, Ms. Grant is filing this lawsuit not just to address her own suffering, but also to act for those who are afraid to speak out. I find that interesting because, as we have seen sometimes, when a high-profile person is accused by one person, then others will come out too. One person's claims gets the ball rolling. Sometimes they aren't comfortable coming forward immediately. But just to let you know that Vince McMahon, he has already been accused by prior employees of trying to cover up their relationship. So some of this is not new. Having said that, when we get into the details of this, it's kind of unthinkable. But according to the lawsuit, Grant met Mr. McMahon in 2019 when they lived in the same building. Grant's attorneys say that she had been the full-time caregiver for her parents, who both died, and that the family home was lost in the parents' bankruptcy. The complaint explains that she was in a really low place in her life. Well, after being introduced to McMahon, he befriended her, showed her a lot of attention, allegedly offered her a role with WWE, told her that he would, help her life. Although what that role would be wasn't entirely clear in the beginning. And that seems to be something that McMahon allegedly took advantage of. You see, from the beginning, Grant alleges that McMahon would greet her in his underwear, in his condo, pull her close to him, tell him intimate details about his personal life. Now, Grant says eventually she was coerced into a sexual relationship with McMahon in exchange for a new role at WWE called Administrator Coordinator in the legal department.
Now, let me pause it right there because, see, let me deal with a couple of things here. Ladies, all of you know who you are if it applies to you. What she fucked up at? The first thing, she knew that this is a married man. That should have been her first. Wait a minute. If he's trying to do all this, let me break this off. Because see, look, as bad as she talking about she doing, especially these white women, she could go get a job somewhere. Okay, a lot of them just don't like to work. All that lazy stuff. Nah, they're the lazy ones. They're in a system of white supremacy. They can go get whatever work they want. She wasn't struggling like that. She just don't want to do certain types of work. So here comes this easy lick coming along. Tricky Vincent McMahon, Vince the Trick. And then she's sitting up here, okay, you see he pushing up on you, trying to get with you. Instead of you saying, okay, this is a married man, I don't want nothing to do with this. Well, your wife ain't got nothing to do with me, and I do need this money. That's how a lot of thought class thinks in all different races. So that's what she fucked up at first. The second thing she fucked up on, you sit here talking about, and see, this is why I keep telling my guys, you got to be careful, man. If you got your money up, just like I told you earlier in this broadcast, they'll turn around and start saying what was consensual was not consensual. Well, he coerced me. No, it ain't nobody coerce you into doing a damn thing. I get so sick of when I hear that bullshit. As a grown man or a grown woman, you choose who you lay down with. That's a choice. Unless they force themselves on you, if you sitting there, can't nobody coerce you into doing a damn thing. You have to be willing to say, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. And see, he was tricking on her. She started liking the money. It was probably more money than she really had, coming in before. And she was going along with it until something happened that she didn't like, or she felt like, oh, you ain't gonna do what you said you were gonna do. Okay, I'm finna go ahead and make it public. So don't be looking at this woman like she's some type of victim here. No, you're not. Just like I said about Cassie, somebody putting themselves in a situation for 10 years, going back and forth across the country on planes as if you couldn't get away. That's bullshit. Okay? So I just want everybody to be clear on that. Brothers, y'all better learn from this. Let's let it continue.
Now, while she started there, McMahon eventually transferred her to the Talent Relations Department, headed up by John Laurinaitis, again, a co-defendant in this case, a former wrestler. But despite Grant's alleged pleas to end this essentially quid pro quo sexual relationship with McMahon, it did not, and according to Grant, it only got worse. First, Grant says that McMahon would share sexually explicit photos and videos of her with men both inside and outside of the company, including TV production teams, executives, producers, crew, even a world-famous athlete looking to sign with the WWE. This person is not identified in the lawsuit, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later on.
Now, let me pause it right here, okay? And I pause it on this pale devil's face for a reason, okay? Because I want y'all to be looking at it when I tell you this. Remember what I said earlier in this broadcast about these people that have that kind of money do not see the women that's fawning all over them as human beings? You heard what he just said is alleged in this lawsuit. He's sitting up there recording her and sharing private, intimate images of her with the boys, okay? Now, let me tell you something about that, because we all know the situation that got kicked up, okay? I'm not going to mention the people involved. If y'all been in these new black media spaces, y'all already know about that, and it's still somewhat ongoing. Ladies and gentlemen, don't share nothing with somebody that you're not comfortable if it happens to go public, okay? You better make sure you really understand who you're dealing with out here when you start sharing intimate images with folks, okay? Especially if you don't really know them like that, particularly you women, okay? Because, see, they can't expose something that you don't want out there if you don't willingly give it to them, okay? Let somebody hacking into your personal devices, taking shit. The minute that you decide to hit send on that, you better know what you're doing and who you're dealing with, okay? Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is what they're alleging that he's done here. Because, hey, look, I believe that he did it. I know he shared them images with her because he don't see her as no damn human being. That's not somebody he respects. He look at her, that wealthy class look at them as parasites. That's what the women don't understand. You ain't getting over on nobody. They look at you as a damn parasite. So he's saying this parasite deserves this. Look at this. So he's showing her, showing his buddies all that shit. Now, see, for me, I'm not going to sit up with no other grown men and be looking at their personal, intimate images of another woman. Look, if it's not something that a woman sent me or the women I'm dealing with, I don't want to see what you got going on. That's your business, bro. I'm not trying to have access to what you got going on. Nah, bro, that's you. You do you, okay? See, that lets you know that this has been going on for years, especially, Zaddy. And see, you know what they tell us, the divestment dummies, as I call them. I'm going to get me a Zaddy. Okay, yeah, you going to get Zaddy and everything that come with Zaddy, too. Because when Zaddy have this kind of money, this is the type of shit that he does. And see, this is what the divestment dummies don't understand. If they do this to their own women, what the hell you think they're going to do to your goofy black ass? For the wenches of Craftington, like I like to call them. If they do that to their own women, what you think they're going to do to you? For the wench class out there, the wenchcraft practitioners, all right? So now, you see what he's saying that happened? Sharing the images with folks, using it to entice other people to sign with him. See, let me tell you something, fellas, about why I don't sit around with dudes just trying to share images of chicks' personal stuff. One, it's a bitch move, okay? Because if she shared that with you in confidence, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wasn't raised like that. You know what I'm saying? I have never put no personal images of no woman out in the public. We'll never do it either. I ain't got to do that kind of shit. That's gang goofy and lame as fuck if you ask me. That's just me. Okay, I've said that many times on my channel over the years. That's just not something I do, okay? Now, fellas, you better be careful about that, because see, in a situation like this, a bastard like this, if he think he's going down, you think he ain't gonna put other names out there? Well, I shared him with Joe Smith and Johnny Smith. I shared Project Leroy. I shared him with you. You know what I'm saying? Put your name in it. You know what I'm saying? And now you say, hey, whoa, hold up, man. Hey, man, now if you sitting there looking at the shit with him, now you looking crazy. So you, man, brothers, be very careful about that. Because, see, that's another thing. You know, I need to do a whole broadcast on it and tie some of this in on how when you get money as a black man, what you need to do to protect it, okay? Because, see, there's more to money, losing money than just being a frivolous spender, reckless spender, you know what I'm saying, not being good with, you know, making wise financial decisions. Sometimes being around the wrong people and in the wrong situations costs you a lot of money as well. Let me tell you something. For the average person, fighting a court case is very expensive. You understand me? Fighting a court case is very expensive. If you want to get good attorneys now, I'm going to tell you something. If you getting somebody that's doing pro bono work or, you know, you got a public defender, good luck with that. I hate to say it, but I got to tell the truth to my people. We in a country where you can buy some justice, okay? I just got to call that what it is. That's why you see people rest his soul when he was alive. In my opinion, one of the greatest attorneys to ever live, besides our good brother and dearly departed Alton Maddox, the great Johnny Cochran. Why do you think he had so much celebrity clientele? Johnny Cochran and Alton Maddox were two of the best in the game. You understand me? Two of the best in the game. All right. So now, if you in a legal situation, you're going to want to have some good attorneys on deck, because this is what I tell y'all all the time. A lot of y'all that are, you know, familiar with my content, I tell you, even if you're innocent and somebody accuse you of something, get you a lawyer and shut the fuck up. Shut up ahead of time, because a good attorney that you have to pay for, the first thing they're going to tell you, two things they're going to tell you. First thing, be quiet. Anybody that wants to talk to you about this needs to talk to me. You don't talk to nobody. Now that you don't put this check down and retain me, shut the fuck up. That's the first thing. The other thing the lawyer is going to tell you, look, no matter what it is, don't lie to me. Tell me the truth. I don't care what it is. If I'm going to be able to successfully defend you, I need to know what I'm working with going in this courtroom so we can exercise every loophole or whatever to make sure you doubly covered and completely clear to these allegations. Those are the main two things that a good attorney is going to tell you. You hear me? I want black people to be familiar with this, all right? Especially my young brothers and sisters out here. Rule number one, shut the fuck up before you retain the attorney. Rule number two, once you get him or her, tell them everything if you want a chance to get off. Because, see, some people get to lie to their attorney. Look, you wasting your time if you pay good money for an attorney, you don't tell them the whole truth. You understand? Because, see, people do stupid things sometimes. People do. But if you want to get out of a legal situation, you got to follow them two rules. I'm telling you, okay? That means not jumping on social media, going back and forth with people and all that. Because, see, look, watch this, right? Y'all know that I'm not telling you nothing that I don't practice. People have said a lot of shit about me over the years, okay? Especially in these online spaces. Go down the catalog of my channel. You don't see me going back and forth with nobody. What do I always tell y'all? If I got to do anything or retort to something, depending on what it is, I've got attorneys that'll talk to you. I'm not going to go back and forth with you like no bitch. I wasn't raised that way, okay? So that's something I would encourage a lot of you to adhere to. I know it's hard for a lot of people to do, boy. People love to go back and forth. Because, see, look, going back and forth with somebody with words, that's powerless. I'm accustomed to being in a family that operates with a measure of power. You understand? And the last thing on earth I'm going to do, like my father always taught me and the grandfather before him, do not waste the precious air that it requires you to expend words with somebody if there's not going to be an outcome in your favor. That's powerless behavior, okay? And see, unfortunately, a lot of people in our community can't just say to women, because it's some men, they love to go back and forth with people. I'm not playing tennis with you. If you do something that requires me to get them people in your life, hey, I'm silent. I'm like Silent Bob. You can call me a damn mime. I'll make hand gestures at you and shit. I'm not gonna talk to you at all. I'm gonna put this legal foot in your ass. That's what I do. Okay. So I went off on a bit of a rant there, but y'all get the point of what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. So before we get back to it, let me say it again. Ladies, this is an example of how men like that, when you think you done got you a sugar daddy or what have you, they do not see your ass as human. Okay? I don't care about other women in other communities. I'm doing this to educate black women and black men over here tonight. Let's get back to it.
Then McMahon is accused of recruiting individuals to have sex with Grant or participate in threesomes. He also allegedly directed her to have sex with Mr. Laurinaitis, who's again named in the lawsuit. She was expected to perform sex acts at WWE headquarters before, during, and after work hours. And to give you an example of what we're talking about here and what she was allegedly subjected to, the lawsuit says that on May 9th, 2020, McMahon defecated on Grant's head during a threesome and commanded her to continue the sexual encounter with the third person referred to as McMahon's friend. She later learned that that third person was McMahon's physical therapist. And just going back to that other allegation about McMahon and Laurinaitis having sexual contact with her at the office at WWE headquarters, this was allegedly despite her begging them to stop, and each held her down as the assaults happened. They allegedly said to her, "No means yes." Truly horrific stuff when you think about this. The lawsuit just describes these multiple sexual encounters between Grant and McMahon, which Grant says were not consensual. She claims that he assaulted her multiple times with sex toys named after male wrestlers. According to the lawsuit, quote, in addition to her panic attacks, Ms. Grant began experiencing increasingly severe physical, mental, and emotional symptoms, including sleep disruption.
Now let me pause it right here, family, because see, I got to call bullshit on this heifer too, like I did Cassie. I'm not saying none of it happened to her, but as far as this, he assaulted me against my will, no. Because no woman in her right frame of mind, keyword right frame of mind, is going to willingly go back to her abuser over and over and over again. Normal human beings with rationally functioning minds do not operate that way. We don't go repeatedly back to something that harms us. Most of us in our right frame of mind. Okay. So now, got to touch on what he tried to breeze over, because we covered it in the beginning of the broadcast about the naming the sex toys after black and white wrestlers. See, this go to show you, if you go back and read the book by Vincent Woodard, The Delectable Negro, these people stay on, we stay on their mind. Them folks, these degenerates, we stay on their mind 24/7. See, this is common with a lot of these white folks like that, whether they wealthy or not. They stay fantasizing about black genitalia and black female genitalia. We ain't nowhere in the room. They got these sick, degenerate, depraved damn fantasies about doing things to us, because you know why? See, it's not just a sick, depraved mind. Let's get deep on this. You better understand that these old, wealthy white folks, man, I'm talking about 70, 80 plus years old, that's actually responsible for lynching and harming some of our ancestors. What kind of stories do you think they pass down to their grandkids? Do you hear me? Do you understand what kind of stuff they laugh around the family table about things that they've done? Former Klansmen, all this kind of stuff. You think they don't sit there and tell their family about this stuff? They must do it, because we wouldn't see what we see today if none of what I said was true. Okay? So I just wanted to cover that part, so I really put it in the context for our people. Now let's read this on the screen here. This is what this woman here that's making these allegations is claiming. In addition to her panic attacks, Ms. Grant began experiencing increasingly severe physical, mental, and emotional symptoms, including sleep disruption, dizziness, exhaustion, rashes, weight loss, hair loss, and migraines. Now, I don't know about y'all, brothers and sisters, but if any damn thing in my life that I have control over is causing me all of that, I'm going to leave it the fuck alone. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it the fuck alone. Who in their right mind would deliberately indulge in something that's not a health benefit to you, because it can't be healthy if it's giving you all of this? Which one of y'all listen to this would indulge in this over and over again if this was causing you all this? But see, let me tell you why this is being done. I want my family to pay attention to this when it comes to legal issues. All of this stuff that's stacked up on here, if you don't understand the strategy behind this, this is for going into a courtroom so that when a jury hears this, they're like, oh my God, she suffered all of this. You see what I'm saying? See, it's basically you got to understand that a good prosecutor, the more that you give them to work with about your distress and how horrible your experience was, the more adjectives you use to describe that, oh, they love that, boy. They be doing the Birdman hand rub. They can go in the courtroom with that. Now, the counter to that, a good defense attorney, this is why they tell you don't lie to them, because a good defense attorney, like, yeah, okay, I see that, bet. They know every type of case where they can go and debunk line by line. All you got to do is just pay attention to the cross-examinations. And this is why a lot of people don't want to put their clients on the stand, okay? But if they ever get on that stand, oh boy, man, they will tear their asses up. So a lot of clients that they know full of shit, they try not to put them on the stand. Now, a good defense attorney will tell you they don't want you on the stand, period, just in case, because, put it like this. Let's talk about that for a second. A good defense attorney, and salute to the good brother of Project Leroy for the cash out. A good defense attorney, though, they'll tell you like this. They'll say, okay, if they confident that they've gone over something with you enough times and you're very articulate enough that you can handle yourself, they don't mind putting you on the stand because they prepared you over and over for the line of question that prosecutor is going to use, okay? But now a person that they know is not all together, they'll be like, oh, no, you are not going on that stand. Why y'all think they didn't let OJ get up on that stand? Dude, bless his heart. Johnny Cochran was a smart man because he know OJ wasn't that bright. If OJ would have got on that stand, trust me, they would have got him, okay? They would have got him with them, that first accusation. They would have got him. They were like, yeah, come on, man. Come on. We put you up there. He'd have been done. Y'all see OJ. He got that big ass head and not a lick of sense and still dealing with them damn folks. But I digress. But anyway, I just wanted to break that part down about the legalities of it and everything. So I want y'all to pay close attention what the rest he's about to say here, because see, a lot of our people don't really sit down and look at things from like a legal standpoint. That's why you see a lot of brothers and sisters getting caught up in certain things. And see, for me, that's something I make it my business to know in every state that I've ever gone to in this country, period. Wherever you are, you need to understand what the laws are, where you at, because regardless of what's on the books, you still black in America, black man or black woman. So it's a whole different set of laws for us. So you need to have the general consensus and understanding of like basic laws where you are regarding any type of situation. And see, it's not just for yourself, but if you're an older person in the family, you need to be able to game up the young brothers and sisters. Like, hey, boy, come here. Because kids do stupid stuff. They haven't been trained. But like, hey, listen, if you do this, riding around with this in your car, this the time you're looking at it, they catch you right here. You see, you got to put that in their faces. Because see, a lot of times, young people, they don't, this stuff we talking about, unless they just have a fascination for it, they don't think about what's the consequences of anything they do. So, for those of us that are older, if you can get them to listen, you want to make sure they understand before you go do this with your dumbass friends, this the time you're going to be looking at it, they catch you right here, okay? This how much it costs to get an attorney to defend you against this. Talk to them about these things, okay? So with that said, we're going to let it continue.
Dizziness, exhaustion, rashes, weight loss, hair loss, and migraines. November 2019, Ms. Grant informed Mr. McMahon that her doctor suggested that her symptoms stem from trauma and ongoing stress. McMahon mocked her, quote, emotional trauma, my ass. However, on November 20th, 2019, McMahon insisted that Ms. Grant see a physician of his choosing. There's another allegation regarding someone identified only as WWE Superstar. This is a pro wrestler in the organization. And the allegation is that McMahon used Grant as a sexual pawn to entice this WWE Superstar to sign a new contract with the company. During the course of this event, or series of events, McMahon texted Grant a reminder that she was an enslaved object to him, saying, quote, I want to drive you lower and lower, so low that you might beg me to sell you.
Did you hear that, family? See, a lot of people probably thought that I was exaggerating over the years when I told you that this is how these wealthy white men, and unfortunately some wealthy black folks in the community, men and women, because, it's been some allegations out there about Oprah and a lot of others. Pedidly, we see what Pedidly, or whatever you want to call him, got going on. You saw what he said. I want you to beg me to the point you think I might sell you. See, now that goes to show you the white supremacist investment, man. Because now, why would he be talking about selling somebody? You think he named them sex toys after black wrestlers for any old reason? No, this is a stomp down white supremacist. Yes, he is, him and his daddy. Okay, that let you know what's in their family. Because, listen, they all try to tell you, the always just a few bad apples in the barrel. Okay, well, they not letting us know who these few bad apples are. He's Pop over there in his family. You think they don't sit around laughing about Negroes over there? So if he can't get to fulfill that fantasy on no actual black person, the next thing they do is go to their women. Y'all better study history and see that so-called, why we keep telling our women that feminism that white women practice ain't got nothing to do with you. That developed because of how white men were treating their own women. You better start looking back, going way back to the medieval times, how they did their own women. If they can't get access to no Negroes, hey, they turn on the women next. That's why the Karens be out here. They be like, hey, I better show them I'm on the team. Hopefully they'll spare me. Because if they can't get to us, hey, they women is next. And see, this is why, and see, let me throw this out here. This is why black fathers, you have to be vigilant about warning your black sons, especially if you have a black son that you know is considered fairly attractive and handsome, talented amongst most of the girls. Don't think it's just black girls looking at him. These white girls looking at him too. And I'm going to tell you why. Because no matter what is said, and I'm not saying we are all perfect, but black men worldwide, this is why I tell my people to travel, we are known as being more affectionate than other men. In other words, we the least ones that do this degenerate bullshit like that. This is why if you travel, and those of you that are will travel, you can bear me witness to this, no matter where we go, we getting chose upon, okay? And don't believe these people over here, man, don't nobody want black men. Bullshit. The devil is a lie, and I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. You understand me? Talking to you as a black man that most women consider fairly attractive, and I'm very successful. I have lived a life. I will tell you that. But I live a smart life. I'll tell you that also. All right. When you travel, a lot of these women from other races will choose up on you because in their cultures, especially when you get into the Eastern hemisphere of the world, women are not treated very well. They're not, okay? A lot of these Eastern societies over there ain't nothing for them to go upside their women's head or abuse them. I've told y'all many times, I got to go here. In a lot of African nations, okay, what a lot of you probably don't understand is if you never really traveled over there, don't know much about different African cultures, they practice what's called lobola. Now, what is that? That's basically bride price, okay? You pay a dowry to the family of the, woman that you're going to marry or what have you. Now, that's determined by a lot of different factors. It's different with different customs and regions and tribes about what that price would actually be. The man doesn't have a say in what the price is going to be, okay, for those nations that still practice that. All of them don't. Let me be clear on that. All African nations don't practice that. I'm talking about the ones that do. So now, after that money is paid, the way they look at that woman, let's just say, okay, they go through it, the woman gets married, and her husband say, okay, you know what? Punching bag time. I got a wife, but you also going to double as a punching bag. And they are known for beating the shit out of their women. Got to call it what it is. I know what I know. If that woman say, okay, damn, no, he beat my ass. Man, I ain't know he was gonna do all of this. Let me go back to my family. You know what they tell? No, go back to your husband. They will send that woman back over there. I don't care how fucked up she come to them. They'll send her. He own you now. We sold your ass. That's basically how that is. They can get mad all they want to. Look up. You know what? Hold on. Let me, because see, one of the things about it, I like for people to look it up. I'm going to type this word in the chat, and I want y'all to look this word up and do your own research on it. I spelled it for you. Lobola. That's what they call. Do your own research on that, okay? After this broadcast is over, do your own research on that. And then you start looking up the horror stories. Fact of business, type in Lobola and type in abuse, African nation. Just watch what pop up. You're going to be like, damn. See, sisters, there's a reason these tether class women don't like you. And I'm not saying all kind of African sisters, because I know some cool ones that don't even think like that at all. Okay, and like I said, that's something I'm gonna start doing on X there. I'm gonna start hosting X Spaces, introducing brothers and sisters to the on code Caribbean and continental African brothers and sisters, so y'all can see the difference between the tether class and the cool brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Because I know plenty. Okay, I just got to coordinate the time zone. I'm working on that. You expect to hear from my good brother Richard Sudan. Me and him gonna be doing some stuff. But I'm saying that to say this, right? a lot of them hate y'all because one, if they over there in them countries, you got to understand where, okay, if they're in a bad place where the economy isn't right, all right, and the only thing they can do is live vicariously by looking at you, because let's be clear, they looking at how you live, sisters. They see you, your hair's together, got fly clothes on, okay, you like you living, enjoying your life. They want that life, but they know they can't have it over there. Okay, and unfortunately, yes, a lot of them want to get over here so they can turn thotty karate. But I'm saying they resent you because they know that you over here in a country where you have some rights if somebody start going upside your head, okay? Plus, you are over here in a lot of places where you can carry that damn goddamn it with you if you need it, okay? And I'm a full, wholehearted advocate of sisters practicing their Second Amendment rights with that goddamn it. Somebody put their hands on you for no reason, shit, you send their ass to the upper room, all right? Return that motherfucker to sender, okay? That's what I believe. You ain't got no business putting your hands on somebody unless it's self-defense. I don't believe in that, and I know if I had a daughter, or, you know, if it was my wife, if I was married or whatever, I'm like, hey, if you away from me, somebody put their hands on you and it's a dude, upper room time, promote their ass on off the planet. That's why I stand on that, okay? And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you know what I'm saying? Equal opportunity on that. So now they look at you sisters with envy, and they over there, especially they in situations, a lot of times, see, look, I'm going to tell y'all, sisters, how you shut that down before we get back to this. When them tether class women start getting fly at the mile, just bring up how they men treat them. And if you really want to make them be quiet, I guarantee you to make their ass stutter in mid-sentence, because everything I'm telling you is the truth. I've seen some of this shit with my own eyes. Just say, hey, you probably dealing with, most of the men you deal with probably whoop your ass, hadn't it? Just go there with it. If they get jazzed at the mouth, you really want to watch how they start stuttering and fumbling. Some of them will probably either stop talking or boy, you finna get caught all kinds of careers and the cotters, boy, that will make them go to police. And I'm talking about just stay on it too. Yeah, I bet you probably got your ass tore all throughout your 10 years by every man you encountering over there, huh? Boy, if you hit below the belt with that, and then don't go pulling the stats on where they're from, because see, this is what, look, let me tell you something, right, before we get back to this. I'm not laughing at it, but I'm just giving y'all some ammunition for the tether class, okay? Keyword tether class. Sisters, this is why they don't want to tell you where they're from, because a lot of this information you can look up about how their women are treated. Just look up the R word and type in African nations, different ones, and start looking at the horror stories that come up. Man, that's how you shut their ass up. Like, listen, y'all got other problems to worry about how your women treat, okay? But anyway, we're going to get back to analyzing the rest of this degeneracy here, because, again, I'm telling y'all, you have to watch this around these wealthy guys. I'm not going to say all of them are like that, but they don't see you as human. You want to be auntie, give me some, got your hand all out. There's always a consequence of that. There's an old saying, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Let's let it continue.
McMahon reportedly showered Grant with gifts financed by the WWE, including tickets to VIP events, gift cards worth thousands of dollars, clothing, jewelry, flowers, BMW, chef-catered dinners, a spa vacation. And then in January of 2022, McMahon had told Grant that his wife had found out about their sexual relationship. He said that her time at the WWE was at an end, but insisted that she sign a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. In the lawsuit, her lawyers say, quote, in the days ahead, McMahon put Miss Grant under immense pressure to sign, saying that refusing would not only jeopardize McMahon, his family, and the company, but that she'd surely become a public headline, suffer reputational ruin, including from the pornographic content McMahon had captured, and face McMahon's legal resources.
Now, let me interject and throw this in here as well, because, see, what she didn't realize was when your abuser start begging you, the power has shifted into your hand momentarily if you know what to do with it. See, if she was smart, she would have took whatever money she got from him, retained her lawyer, told him what the situation was, and got the ball rolling and stopped talking to him and did what she needed to do. But nope, because she's not telling the part about her still going back to him back and forth, because see, look, y'all got to call it what it is. We gonna be grown folks over here. You really think that this heifer just upped and stopped dealing with him all of a sudden like that? No. Because see, that greed, that led her right back over there to see what else she could probably get out of him until the shit got so bad. And I was like, oh, I'm a victim all of a sudden. So like I said, greed can be a person's worst enemy.
Conversely, McMahon reassured her that her signature would ensure his continued support and protection and safeguard her reputation. Ultimately, Miss Grant succumbed to the pressure and signed the NDA in exchange for payments, which McMahon later stopped making. The lawsuit claims that multiple high-ranking employees at WWE knew about this sexual relationship as well as assaults allegedly committed on Grant at the offices, but did nothing to stop it. Grant's legal team says that she is suffering from PTSD and has struggled with suicidal ideation. Now, this lawsuit has different claims or causes of action that I'm going to go into right now. And remember, in a civil case, the standard of proof is not beyond a reasonable doubt, like we have in a criminal case, but usually preponderance of the evidence. That's a lower standard, meaning that Grant has to show that more than likely this happened, more than 50% that these things happen, that they're true. So it is a lower standard to prove, but you still have to prove your claims nonetheless.
Did y'all hear that? Because see, for a lot of the dudes out there that hang out in these damn incel spaces, oh man, they're just trying to bring them down, just trying to bring them down. Look what they saying. Did you hear how that works in the law? Not what people feel, the law. All she has to do with this particular allegation is prove that it likely happened. Not that, oh, it 100% happened. Nope. Don't need 100% proof. This is very important for black men because if you try to do what Vince did, you're going to be in his situation without his resources, chances are. Key word, she doesn't have to prove all of it exactly happened. She just has to prove that it likely happened, meaning beyond somewhat of a reasonable doubt. And now, hey, we're going to see how, because look, I already know how this is going to end. What's going to happen, it's going to go, you know what I'm saying, through litigation. And then before we get ready to go to trial, chances are the attorney's going to meet, a settlement amount is going to be discussed. He's going to drop the bag and it's going to go away. And you ain't going to hear nothing else about it because he's got the completion for the protection. Is Diddy's situation going away? Hell no. I'm not going to rejoice about it. But that's going to trial. Mark my words. You're like, damn, GBS caught it. That's going to trial. That is not over. Because there's too many women coming out after him. That's going to trial. Watch what I tell you, man. Let it continue.
Here, not only Grant's account, probably her testifying, but the incredibly sexually explicit text messages that are included in this complaint, the ones from McMahon, yeah, that can definitely help prove her case. And during discovery, in the course of a litigation, where they will get more information from McMahon and WWE, this is going to be evidence from the defendants that Grant hopes will help prove her claims. We can't show you or read you these text messages in the complaint because honestly, they're just far too graphic and explicit. But they include alleged texts from McMahon in which he describes violent sex acts he wants to perform on Grant or have others perform on her. The messages call her all sorts of degrading names. They tell her what other men have said about explicit photos and videos of her. He appears to also be scheduling sexual liaisons between Grant and other men like Laurinaitis. The text purportedly from McMahon also repeatedly.
And I got to stop it and go ahead and point out that's another reason that you know she was full of shit about her being assaulted against her will because she was renting the box out. Okay, let's just call it what it is. That right there, look, I know how they operate, man. You sit there and you start accepting things from him. He's like, okay, yeah, I've had my fun with you. I got a homeboy want to try that out. Yeah, go ahead and let him get it. You like it? You want to go on this trip next week, don't you? Huh? You want to go on another shopping spree, don't you? Okay, let my partner go ahead and get some of that. That's what that was going on right there. Okay, and look, if you think that a lot of these wealthy celebrities that you see aren't trying to do this same thing in our community, you are out of your damn mind. I am here to tell you what I know, not what I think, not what I heard. I'm telling you, it's a dirty game. And if you're a young black woman that happen to be listening to this broadcast, I get it. You want to enjoy your life, but you better be very, very damn careful when you start trying to go backstage with these people, get on their tour buses, catch these athletes at these out the way parties after NBA All-Star Weekend, stuff like that. Just know you walking into an environment that your ass don't know nothing about. You don't understand who's got a drug habit. You don't understand who is an absolute confirmed rapist in there that just been kept quiet because they got enough money to keep it out the press. You don't know what you're walking into. You understand me? You better stop and weigh the consequences of you being so starstruck and enamored by trying to be around these wealthy people and thinking that that's a notch on your belt so you can brag to your homegirls. You better start weighing, okay, are you going to be safe doing this? Whatever decision you make, you better understand that you don't understand the lifestyle that these kinds of people live. You really don't. And see, when you in there and you a groupie, look, you can go back and just do your research on how certain rappers talk about the groupies that be out there. You listen to some of them interviews, man. Go way back to. I'm talking about, man, go back to the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Just go to some of your most well-known rappers. That's out there to find it. And listen to how they talk about them and tell me, do you want to be one of them chicks? Let it continue.
Tell Grant that if anyone were to find out about the relationship, she would lose her job and possibly face legal consequences. All right, so it's no secret that listening to stories like this McMahon one are tough to hear, and it just reminds you how dark life can be. And, you know, talking to somebody about what you're feeling, what you're going through, that can be a really, really good thing because your mental health is so important. That is why we have partnered with BetterHelp. They're the sponsor of this episode of Sidebar. BetterHelp is online therapy that can match you to one of their 35,000 licensed therapists based on where you live, your preferences, your schedule. It's designed to be convenient. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And you can also switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. And look, therapy, it's not just about trauma. It is about so much more. It can be a place to work through the challenges that you face in all of your relationships, like in friends, work, family. But it's also helpful in that you can learn positive coping skills. You can learn how to set boundaries, how to feel empowered to be your best self. So if you're interested and you want to check out more, visit betterhelp.com/sidebar today to get 10% off of your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/sidebar. Let's quickly go through all of these counts. There are 9 here, and they're important to understand. So the first 2, they're asking the court for declaratory relief. You are basically asking for a court to set the record straight about someone's rights. So here, Grant is asking that the NDA that she signed be deemed illegal under federal law, namely the Speak Out Act. She argues that it invalidates these contracts if there is a sexual assault or harassment dispute.
Remember what I told you about that loophole with those NDAs? Because see, you got a lot of these goofy Negroes out here. Just get her to sign an NDA, man. You good. What did I tell you? That NDA does not uphold if there was any type of criminality that happened or alleged to happen. You understand? So a lot of these goofball Negroes that be doing NDA, be done found out something and they don't understand how that works. That's not some ironclad, okay, this person can never come forward and say nothing. No. All it has to do is be an allegation of criminality. That NDA is null and void in most states. There's very few states that, in fact, I don't think there's any state that'll uphold an NDA if there's alleged criminality. Okay? So y'all better pay close attention to the rest of these charges that he's going to read, and he's going to break some more stuff down. Let it continue.
The second claim argues that the NDA is invalid under Connecticut's common law. Now, that's not a statute. The common law is basically the laws that come from judges' decisions in court cases. And here she's saying that the NDA is too broad and that she entered into this NDA under duress, so it's invalid. The third cause of action says that McMahon and Laurinaitis violated the Trafficking Victims Protection Act of 2000, or TV.
I want to throw something else in there too, because see, I would be remiss if I didn't compare this to that. You remember what he just said there about signing something under duress? That also can be applied to prenups in some cases. So a lot of people are like, man, get a prenup, get a prenup. If they can allege and prove that they signed something under duress, guess what happens to that prenup? Now, it's not going to be easily done, but that could be an out. So I just wanted to tie that to that as well. Look, a lot of this stuff, whether it's an NDA or prenup or whatever, there's ways out of it legally, okay? And as a black man or a black woman, you need to be aware of what those ways are. Let it continue.
EPA. The suit claims that they recruited, enticed, and solicited Grant for sexual abuse and exploitation, especially as McMahon traveled across the United States. Crossing state lines becomes a big factor in sex trafficking cases. The allegation is that they used fraud, such as the lure of career opportunities, to coerce Grant into sexual activities. Likewise, count 4 is that the WWE knowingly participated in this trafficking and benefited from and facilitated this venture in violation of the TVPA.
Now, this is the part that I want my young black brothers who are business entrepreneurs and women to pay attention to. You remember I did the broadcast on Diddy where the sister was breaking down how Cassie was able to get him? See, this is why if you are a business owner and you in charge, you better pay close attention to what he's about to explain and what I'm about to tell you. If you got employees that's running around sexually harassing anybody or playing around like that, the best rule of thumb to set the rule for your employees, like, hey, listen, when you come to work, you working. Leave all the personal stuff alone. Whatever you do off the clock, that's your business. But under this roof, this place of employment, zero tolerance. No. Because see, what happens is they don't just go after the individual, they go after the company. You understand me? So now, even if you are like the head of a company, you didn't have nothing to do with what's going on, you didn't even know about it. There are legal loopholes that say, you can come back after that company because they were responsible for your safety and a whole bunch of other legal jargon that the average person wouldn't understand. But he's about to go into some of that now. So I'm telling you, if you on your way up as a black person, that stupidity, if you know you got some goofy grab ass motherfucker, or if it's a woman, she's overly flirtatious, you listen. If you want to keep your business in good standing, you better let them understand, hey, listen, you better cut that out if you want to stay an employee over here. If not, hey, I will wish you well in your future endeavors. Because see, one dummy can cost you lots of money and plenty of legal issues. And see, the thing with a business, everybody talk about the money aspect. But let me tell you something. One of the main things that allows a business to make money is the business, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, is the business having a good reputation. Once a reputation is ruined with a particular business, it's just like with a person. It's a stain on that forever. Listen, that's why you look. You think back to some of the businesses that have been involved in some egregious scandals over the years. You know what a lot of their legal team tell them they're gonna have to do? They're gonna be like, okay, look, you finna have to lose some money, but what you're gonna need to do is lay low, change your name. You might have to move out the country for a few years and come back under a different name where nobody don't know that this business is the same one. Because that once that reputation is damaged, it's a wrap. And see, fellas, in particular, these women today, they understand how weaponizing, damaging your reputation is something that could ruin you for the rest of your life. You better be very wise about decisions you make out here, sisters as well, okay? Once that reputation is damaged, that can do a lot of harm to you for the rest of your life in certain situations. Let it continue.
Count 5 is negligence. That's when you have a legal duty to use reasonable care. You don't do that, and that causes injury or harm. Here, this negligence claim is against the WWE, namely that they failed as an employer who has the responsibility and duty to make sure their employees are safe and protected. Count 6 is civil battery against McMahon and the WWE. Now, that is about intentional, harmful, and offensive contact that McMahon allegedly engaged in on Grant. And there is one particular disturbing account that it's cited here where McMahon allegedly forced Grant to perform oral sex on him in a very, very graphic and violent scene. Now, she claims the WWE is liable for the battery, that they're legally liable, because they're legally liable for the actions of their chairman. Under a vicarious liability legal theory, that is where you hold companies on the hook for the actions of their employees who engage in wrongdoing if those actions are within the scope of their employment or they were done while they're on the job. Count 7 is also civil battery, except this time it's against the WWE and Laurinaitis. So specifically, these forced sexual contact or acts between Laurinaitis and Grant, including the ones that were done at his office in the WWE headquarters.
Now let me pause it right here and go to show you, because see, a lot of people don't really break this down the right way. A lot of y'all probably like, okay, well, that probably just applied to the executives like McMahon and John Laurinaitis. By the way, the John Laurinaitis they're talking about, he's the brother of the late I forget what his first name was. I want to say it was Joe or whatever, but you remember the Road Warriors, the big guy Animal. Animal was his brother, John Laurinaitis' brother. He's passed on, him and Hawk as well, but that's one of his brothers. So I put that out there for the wrestling fans. But here's how it trickles down to the rest of the people in a company like WWE. And I'm gonna use a recent example, or a fairly recent example. Think about somebody like, okay, let's just say you're a wrestler. You done got your name known. Okay, now you starting to branch out and do other things. You understand, if you was somebody like The Rock or whoever that was getting ready to branch out to do movies, this bullshit right here, if you was up and coming at the time, hey, now 21st Century Fox or whatever movie studio, hey, Project Leroy or Sister Stuns It. I know you didn't have nothing to do with it, but you do work for the company, and that name is kind of hot right now, so that we're gonna have to scrap them plans of that movie deal we was gonna do. You see what I'm saying? Look, being around something like that damages the people up under them too. You understand? Because see, look, to be honest with you, if you understand how corporate America works, hey, when your name is hot in those streets, it's kind of just like in the streets. They'll be like, oh boy, the folk ran up in your house last week. Hey, nah, player, you can't come over here. You done made the block high. You understand? Because see, that's how they look. It's only two languages that corporate America understands: loss of money or loss of life. Okay? Them the only two languages they give a fuck about. I'm just being real with you. So if you around them and you connected to something that's gonna make their name hot, because see, their sponsorship, people be like, oh, so you gonna let so-and-so come over there and be a part of this project, and they work for this company over here with that going on, and they probably got something to do with it. Oh yeah, go ahead and pull my funding from that. I can't. You see what I'm saying? So I'm telling this to the family over here. If you are an entrepreneur, business owner, you better be strict about bullshit like this going on in your establishment or business, whatever you run. Don't play games with that, because it will come back to bite you legally in the end, and you may never recover from it. Let it continue.
Now, counts 8 and 9 are intentional or negligent infliction of emotional distress. This is against McMahon, Laurinaitis, and the WWE. The basic idea is that they intended or should have known that their actions would cause Grant to suffer emotional distress. And she lists a number of extreme and outrageous forms of conduct, like with McMahon's text messages, sexual assault, trafficking, exploiting her. Laurinaitis, she claims, treated her like a sexual object, including forcing her to travel to his hotel for sexual activity. And the complaint highlights that he and McMahon were the bosses. We can't forget it. These were their supervisors. These were the bosses. That is such an important part of this lawsuit. Now, in terms of what she is looking for, what she's asking for in this lawsuit, A, invalidate the NDA. She could be able to speak about what happened. 2, compensatory and punitive damages. Remember, punitive damages are kind of a way to punish and deter this conduct. And what has happened so far in the result of this lawsuit is that McMahon has resigned from the WWE's parent company, TKO Group Holdings. McMahon said he did that out of respect for the WWE universe, but he denies all of the allegations. Now, remember, McMahon had previously stepped down as CEO of WWE in 2022 after similar sexual assault allegations were raised. The thing was, at the time, he never sold his stock. He was the controlling shareholder. So he just came back on the board, and then the board voted him to make him executive chairman again. And
now let me cover that, right? Because this might be out of the realm of understanding for a lot of people, but I want to break it down in layman's terms. See, when you see somebody saying that they stepped down, that's the other part that you need to understand. It's not permanent unless you are forced to sell your shares in the company as well. Okay, if you don't sell them shares, what a lot of the white folks do that are accused of these things, they be like, okay, look, buddy, made the block hot, but we like you. We involved in some of it too. Just don't dime us out, and we'll let you keep your shares. You go sit down for a little while until this die over, and then you just come on back. We'll put you right back like nothing ever happened. That's basically in layman terms what they did. Okay, black folks, no, I don't know no black people that works out for. First of all, you shouldn't be involved with no shit like that. But I'm just saying, you're not gonna get you get to keep your shares and then go lay low for a minute, then they just come vote you back in. That doesn't work like that for us, okay? Fonnie Willis, Fonnie the Mommy, and the rest of them, they find that out the hard way right now, okay? And a lot of more of them, Alvin Brand, they come for you, buddy. They're going to get you too. But that's a whole nother subject and broadcast for another day. And the other thing I want to point out, this is something that I'm not going to tell you nothing that I don't practice. I thank God that I have the father, uncles, grandfathers to teach me this. But if you got sons, okay, and sisters, it's going to be somewhat graphic, but in case you're a woman and, the father, your child isn't there, you're going to want to pass this game along to your child as well if you hadn't already. Got to go here with it. I have never wanted to be a part of any situation where it's some turbo thought around and they like, okay, she going to give everybody some, we going to run the train. First of all, I'm not going to go after nobody sloppy seconds. But my father and my uncles gave me up on that a long time ago. They're like, son, don't you ever do that. Because if you do it and it gets out, okay, that y'all did that and she don't like that, now here come the allegations about what you did that was against her will. Now all of y'all looking like boo-boo the fool. You understand me? I got to go there, sisters. I get it. That might be hard for some of y'all to hear, but that's a reality that does go on. You better make sure that your sons out here are not doing that. First of all, like I said, you shouldn't want nobody sloppy seconds, no damn ways, thirds, fourths, fifths, whatever the fuck going on. But if you got sons out here that's a part of these football teams and they're in high school, college, you better have that talk with them. Fathers, you better pull them to the side. No, boy, you should want your own. Every dog should want their own bone. Let me put it that way. All right. Because see, if you sharing, somebody get embarrassed. Next thing you know, here come the damn allegations to save face. All right. So just keep that in mind, okay? Those things, you might think that is cool if you that type of person. I don't see how. But foolish decisions can have long-term consequences. Let it continue.
Then WWE and UFC, they merged together to form TKO Group Holdings. In a statement, the company said, quote, Mr. McMahon does not control TKO, nor does he oversee the day-to-day operations of WWE. While this matter predates our TKO executive team's tenure at the company, we take Ms. Grant's horrific allegations very seriously and are addressing this matter internally. Now, what is interesting about that statement is that according to CNN, TKO, which is a publicly traded company, alerted the SEC in its most recent quarterly filing report that, quote, Mr. McMahon's membership on our board could expose us to negative publicity and or have other adverse financial and operational impacts on our business. The company said in the filing, quote, his membership also may result in additional scrutiny. So that makes me wonder, what exactly did they know and understand about McMahon's dealings?
They knew everything. Because, see, let me thread a needle here for you. I'm going to go ahead and call this what it is, and those of you with intelligence will be able to recognize the similarities here. Now, in his case, it's probably not going to get that far. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't think it, but hey, stranger things have happened. The reason why Jeffrey Epstein was murdered, okay, well, was knocked off, was because he was the reckless one in the group of some of the most powerful people in the world, foreign dignitaries. And look, they were like, okay, we told your little freaky hard-headed behind to keep that on the low and fall back on some of that. But now that you're in a position where you know all this about us, oh, you got to go. Prince Andrew involved with that? You really think that they were just going to let him go to trial and put all that out there? Oh, no. Camera magically malfunctioned. Hey, go in there and now he's hung himself with a bed sheet. Yeah, If you looked at the report of that, his neck was fractured in 3 places, a damn bed sheet tied to The way he did it on his knees with a bed sheet tied around his neck and he leaned forward until it broke his neck. No, there's no bed sheet in the world that damn strong. You hear me? He was murdered. All right. The point that I'm making is this. They knew what Vince McMahon was up to, and they was like, in this case, all right, now the rest of us got our little freaky deaky dealings going on. You got to get the hell on. Go ahead and pay them hoes that money. Let this shit blow over, because if you stay up here and they take the entire company to trial about this shit, we all gonna be fucked up in the game. So you gonna have to go, okay? That's what that is, all right? Just breaking it down so y'all can easily understand. Let's let it continue.
McMahon's team put out a statement saying, quote, I stand by my prior statement that Ms. Grant's lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene made-up instances that never occurred, and is a vindictive distortion of the truth. I intend to vigorously defend myself against these baseless accusations and look forward to clearing my name. And look, there are a number of ways that this can go, right? McMahon, Laurinaitis, the WWE, they could try to settle with her. We recently saw that in the Sean Combs litigation. If they want to fight this, the first thing that we'll probably see is an answer. That's an actual legal filing in response to a complaint. Ultimately, I imagine what a defense could be is they'll try to say these events never happened, or if they did happen.
Now, let me put y'all up on some game about, because, you know, you get a lot of the silly Negroes. Man, how you know Puffy did that? Y'all just trying to tell black man go down. And you look, you know, I don't never want to see none of our people accused of something they didn't do, be it hit with something and you know, lose everything. But I'm finna put y'all up on game because, see, I covered this before, but I want to make sure I put it in this broadcast as well. Ladies, pay attention to this as well. You can learn from this also. If you want to know if there's some truth to these types of allegations when you see them, you better understand that when you're dealing with somebody that's very wealthy like that, that can afford the best attorneys, let me tell you how you know there's some element of truth to it. If you don't see them countersue somebody for defamation, libel, slander, if you don't see that coming, because see, if somebody lie on people like that, oh, they gonna hit you with that work. You didn't see Puffy do it, and you ain't gonna see Vince do it. You know why? Because they know them people got proof that can prove otherwise. They know that that's dead in the water. You understand? That's just see the average person ain't gonna give it to you this way. That's how you know there's some truth into it. So for all the dummies that want to sit there and argue with you about that, ask them that question. Be like, okay, have they filed a countersuit for defamation, libel, or slander? No? Okay. There you have it.
Happened. They were entirely consensual, particularly because of her responses in certain text messages. Counter argument to that, of course, would be that she said or did anything she could do to appease these people. It can get very complicated in these kinds of lawsuits and this kind of litigation. Now, the WWE would try to distance themselves as much as possible, saying they didn't have any knowledge of anything like this happening. They would maybe say that the actions of McMahon or Laurinaitis were not done within the scope of their employment, but in their personal capacity. That would be a way to get away from that vicarious liability theory that I mentioned before. But it can be tough, especially if you have this working relationship. If it was done on WWE headquarters premises, that's kind of gets complicated.
Let me tell you just how complicated it could get. Because, see, I want y'all to thoroughly understand this degenerate world here. It's not just hot for McMahon and Laurinaitis, okay, that's being mainly accused. Let me tell you something. At a place like this, everybody that's cool with him, they done participated in some of this stuff with him. Let me tell you what's going on right now. And I want you to pay attention because, see, I just got to put it out here for what it is. The smart pass around thoughts, you know what they doing right now? The ones that's been sleeping with the married wrestlers or whatever that's got that bag. Hey, boy, they pissed at Vince. Them guys are pissed at Vince because now they turbo thoughts. They're like, hey, look here. Now, I know it's been a couple of years since we fooled around, but you don't want me to come on ahead and put some allegations on you. I'm going to need to get a couple of racks up at you. Oh, yeah. See, a smart hoe, I got to call it what it is, a smart hoe at this time. If they know they done fooled around with any of the married men and done been to some of Vince's version of the freak offs, they hitting all them. They hitting all their former tricks. So they're like, hey, player, check this out. There's some shoes that I'm looking at. You know, a couple of trips that I think I might want to take. Now, you know, I'm not saying it, but, you know, if certain things, you know, if I don't end up getting them shoes to take that trip now, you know, I might, you know, I might start saying some things. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you how they think, man. So now all the tricks that was kicking it with him, they're like, God damn, Vince, you motherfucker, you. Cause see, the smart ones, the smart hoes, that's what they doing. They're like, hey boy, you know that little spot that you and your wife like to go eat at? You know, I might just decide I'm hungry. You know, might go out there and have a little conversation with her. You know, I might have to send her some of these things that, you know, we got going. See, a smart bitch, you know, I gotta call them what they are, a smart bitch. They got stuff that they can blackmail people with too. You understand? And you ain't gonna accuse them of lying because they'll be like, hey, hold up now. Don't try to say I'm lying now. Cause see, they got two things in their favor. They can hit you with, okay, this was done against my will. And they can hit you, you ain't gonna be able to hit them with no defamation, libel, and slander once they go that route because now they the victim. You see what I'm saying? See, being a trick, basically, bottom line, that's a no-go, fellas. Don't do that. All these goofy bastards I see, I'm gonna tell you who the ones that are likely to fall into this as far as in our community. Any community, but we talking about ours. Your goofy OnlyFans simps, oh yeah. If they got anything going on where they become successful, them the main ones that they'll be taught, they easy. That I just got to put it out there. Don't be a trick, fellas. It's not worth it. So let it continue.
And look, I should tell you right now, there is still an ongoing federal investigation into Vince McMahon, too. In fact, only a few months ago, law enforcement executed a search warrant and subpoena on McMahon and the WWE regarding sexual misconduct allegations. So there are all these different factors, and we are going to continue to follow this case and see how it progresses. Some very disturbing stuff, but I appreciate you staying with us as we talked about it. That's all we have for you here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. Speak to you next time.
Do you want to get the...
All right, so now we've covered the legal part of this, and I hope if you are signed up on this Patreon and you listening to this, y'all better take that to heart, man. Again, I covered that with Vince McMahon to show you what happens as far as them folks and why you better not try to emulate that if you climb the ladder of success and you got some bread to yourself where you can afford to do a couple of things out here, whether you're a man or a woman. Please don't try to emulate them folks. So now we're going to roll into this. A lot of y'all who are wrestling fans probably recognize who this is. Would be the legendary Mick Foley, known as Cactus Jack. The dude loved mankind. He had several different characters over there at the WWE at that time. I'm going to let you listen to what he's saying. And this is the part where I was telling you about white folks staying on code. I'm going to play this, and I want y'all to absorb this right here and read between the lines on a lot of what he's about to say here. Let's let it continue.
Bad stuff out of the way first.
Wow, man, there's been a lot of news, and we're excited to be on the road to WrestleMania, and that's our topic today. We're going to be talking about some of your favorite WrestleMania moments, but for better or worse, Vince McMahon was a large part of that, and he's been in the news this last week.
Vince, he sure was. Man, he was a huge part of it.
Yeah.
His belief in me made all the difference in the world, from just being another guy to being, one of his main guys during that Attitude Era. And you can tell, if anyone who's listened to a single episode knows the great fondness I have for Mr. McMahon. But it's just, I don't know all the facts,
right.
But man, it's really ugly.
Yeah.
I feel some very similar, just like that dead inside feeling the way I had in 2007
yes.
after the Benoit murders. And man, I hope it doesn't take away from people's amazing memories of all the things that Mr. McMahon created or helped create, including, my character and the programs that I was in. He was such a big part of it. I wish he'd really just stepped aside, the first time we just heard a little hint of these allegations.
Yeah.
And I believe you brought up the Rain hotline.
Yes.
When you were talking with Jeff and with
Eric.
Now, I was a volunteer on the hotline for 2 years, so I know the great work they do. And if somebody is having a workplace difficulty or has a difficulty in their personal life,
their family life,
or have been the survivor of an assault, then RAINN, RAINN.org is a great place to go to look for help. And one of the big differences they have now that they did not have when I was on the hotline, man, it's going back 12, 13 years since I did the hotline. They did not have the means to safely and anonymously have a chat room for survivors. And now they do. And that's huge because I did a lot of reading, a lot of studying, and I tried to be the best volunteer I could, but I haven't been in those shoes.
Right.
So if you go to RAINN.org, you not only can talk to a trained volunteer, but you can talk amongst other people who may be in the same situation that you are.
Well said. And we know where you are on that sort of thing and all the great work you've done with RAINN. And I think we all agree we just want this to end as best as it can for all involved.
Yeah, and for it to never happen.
Yes.
Obviously never happen again.
We should talk about some good stuff.
Now, notice what they just said. They want the best outcome for all involved. Now, if all of this stuff is true, or even some of it is true, why would you want the best outcome for a damn predator? Oh, they're not done yet. When I tell you these people stay on code with each other, and see, family, for those of you that didn't catch what he was doing, notice when he was talking about it, he was going around about talking about other stuff that didn't have nothing to directly do with what he was asked. See, I want you to study how in the media they stay on code with their people, even if they, because look, let's just call it what it is. If you was a man over there or a woman, y'all, they knew how Vince got down and what he had going on. But see, this is him trying to say, hey, look, I ain't going to completely throw you under the bus. Just wait till you hear the rest of what they're saying. Because see, I'll put this in here for y'all to study how they act about their people, no matter what kind of wrong they do in the mainstream media when they're asked about it. Because see, depending on even something like this, how it's used, a defense attorney could take bits and pieces of this where if they've spoken like in favor of him and use that to help get him off of something, okay? Because you can chop bits and pieces of certain things up and use it to your advantage in a courtroom. A good attorney will definitely do that, right? So when you hear them talking about something, but they dancing around it and saying damn, why they kind of speaking positive? That's all done by design, okay? A lot of time they have been passed the bag to do that, all right? I'm just pulling the curtain back on a lot of that stuff that many of our people don't really catch about how these people operate. But hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't take my word for it. Y'all make up your own minds. Let it continue.
In modern wrestling, we just saw a pretty fun Royal Rumble, record-setting Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes wins again, back-to-back, and we got a little surprise on the ladies' side. Bayley came out victorious.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the show?
Well, I didn't see the show. I was on the road. It's one of the drawbacks. I did not see it. And in fairness, there were a few people I saw at the con who invited me to watch it, but then when it rolls around 7 p.m. and you're just in your bed.
Yes.
Cons can take a lot out of you, It's like a marathon. No, it's not a marathon because I can do 3 days at a con. I can't run a marathon. But you need some energy to go out there, and I just didn't watch it.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to see Becky and Mommy. And I don't know if that's going to happen now. It's always an interesting couple months to see how something that technically should be dyed in the wool. Once you establish that, boom, off and running. And I've sometimes wondered if maybe the Rumble should be the pay-per-view in February.
Yes.
So that the momentum. I have seen the momentum die.
Yes.
And I've seen the stipulations change so much that you wonder why there was even a Rumble winner.
Wow. Okay.
But when you make I think the most glaring I'm thinking the word obfuscation, even though I'm probably not even using it correctly, was when it was set, I think in 2004, to be a singles match, and then Shawn Michaels super kicked one of the participants and signed his name, and I thought,
how did that happen?
That's legal. I don't know if that's legally binding, but it should be interesting. I mean, it's they call it the road to WrestleMania. I don't know if they've ever given a moment's thought to having the Rumble in February instead of January, because it is such a, it's a great, to me, it's a great service for the wrestling community.
Yes.
Because we're talking about the doldrums.
Yes.
We're talking about late January. These are the dreariest months of the year.
Yes.
And having the Rumble, and that, it's Mania, but it's also springtime. I think it's been a great service for people to have something besides the Super Bowl to get excited about. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. Well, the world wants to know what's going to happen with Cody Rhodes. Of course, Seth Rollins, as we're recording this, pled his case on Monday Night Raw, saying Cody should challenge for his belt, the quote-unquote work.
Notice how they immediately flipped this back to the world of wrestling, and man, boy, look, I'm playing this for a reason, right? Because, again, in case you just now stumble across this, or when I decide to go ahead and premiere it on the main channel, which will probably be a couple of days from now, I want to make sure everybody has first access to it over here on Patreon. But I'm playing this for a reason because, see, the tone of this interview, you wouldn't even know that he asked him about Vince McMahon if you just listen to him just talk shop about this, right? You see what I'm saying? I mean, look, I want you to study the demeanor. And, before it's over with, I want you to see if you catch a certain thing. I'm not going to even point it out yet. Let's let it continue.
Horse belt, the Dusty belt. And a lot of people wonder, does Cody go with Roman or does he go with Seth?
I think a lot of people would see the story not being complete unless it's Roman.
Right.
But we have heard rumors out there that Roman might be occupied on Mania.
What do you think about the rumor that perhaps The Rock would be involved in WrestleMania?
Well, going back way over, to a similar place a year ago, although no, we're talking Clash of the Castle, and you asked me if I thought Drew McIntyre should have been put over, and I said, it remains to be seen if Roman holds the title until Mania. This was last year, and I thought it might be Rock last year.
Right.
Then it makes sense for Roman to hold on to it. But at this point, so many, how many, what are you in, 1,000 days?
Yeah, well over, yeah,
well
like
over.
1,300 or something.
I mean, it's
crazy.
conceivable he could have lost the title to both.
Yeah.
He could have lost the title a couple times.
Yes.
To say Sammy, to give people that incredible rush when they leave. In Sammy's case, it was Montreal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Drew's case, it was Wales, right?
That's right.
Wales. I don't know, looking at it now, if it would have hurt Roman at all. He could still be solidified as a really strong champion. So I don't know. I'd love it. I want whatever the right thing is for Cody. I think it has to happen this year.
I would agree. I hope it does, and I'm excited about it. And I'm interested to see if The Rock does come back.
And I think if The Rock comes back, people want to see him in a tag team situation.
100%.
They want to see
Solo and Roman against The Rock and Sock.
It's got to be.
That's easy.
That's why I've been shaping up the last 25 minutes.
Hey, so we did get some big news. Your old pal Dwayne is now on the TKO board. What do you make of that, man?
I like it a lot. I'm sure he takes that job really seriously. I'm happy also for Dwayne that the United States Football League. And I'm excited, man. They've got a team in Birmingham.
They do.
I want to go.
Yeah,
I want to be part of this thing. I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm excited. I'm bullish on Rock in general.
Sure.
I'm bullish on the Brahma Bull. So I think he doesn't get involved in things unless he knows there's a good chance of making things better.
Yes.
Or continuing excellence. So I'm sure it's not an opportunity he took lightly, and I'm really glad that.
Now, you probably saying, GBS, why did you let him go on like that? Why did you do that? Okay, because one, obviously you saw that they barely mentioned the Vince McMahon situation, okay, and didn't get back into it. But the other thing that I want to point out to you so that you'll recognize this in the future, family, all those names that he was talking about, see, the average person wouldn't catch this. he's throwing out names of like, see, these are all the people that Vince helped. And basically, it's kind of like a dog whistle. Like, all right, you guys that are top guys in the company now, if you have to make a statement defending him or if he needs you, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes, okay, look what he did. Look who he put on. See, that's the part that y'all didn't catch. Y'all probably thought that he was just talking shop. So that's something I want you to recognize anytime you see any of these allegations like that with a lot of these white, high-profile names, and understand that it does not work the same way for black people, okay? So with that said, we're going to draw the broadcast to a close, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that everyone was able to learn something from this discourse tonight, because my primary concern is making sure that our people think wisely before, keyword before, you do certain things and get yourself in certain legal situations that you may not be able to recover from, damage your reputation, your family's reputation, and possibly be end up doing some prison time, okay? So with that said, salute to everybody that contributed to the broadcast. I'll probably premiere this on the main channel in maybe about 3 days or so, but we definitely going to be cooking back over there coming up this Friday. We're going to be addressing that situation with that goofball ass coon comedian. Oh yeah, I'm going to thread some needles with that in a way that most other people will not. A lot of people on this bumper right now, we're not going to let up, okay? So with that said, salute to everybody. Black first, take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in future content.
This is the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, and we still have a lot of discrepancies as far as the origins of hip-hop, a lot of claims, who did what, who was the first this, who was the this and that, and such. But at the end of the day, we need a definitive story, all right? And that story can only be told by the founders of this culture.
Like everything was being driven and influenced by young, black, American culture. Like the slang, the style of dress, the initial music that we chose.
Look at all the boroughs. You got, Money Making Manhattan and Money Earning Mount Vernon and Crooklyn. The Bronx was the boogie down Bronx. We was partying up there.
I am Coke LaRock, the first MC of hip hop. First cat to pick the mic up.
I introduced rapping to the turntable because when I came with it, nobody in the world was doing it. I'm right after Rudy Ray Moore.
They want to come in the mix. They want to say, we started. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What came to be known as hip hop was solely an African-American creation.
What would you get out of some Jamaican toast? What is that? I've never heard of a rapper use a Jamaican toast or a Jamaican flu as a rhyme. I never heard of it, and I don't know where that myth came from.
My name is legendary King Trixie from the Bronx, BX from the West Side. I am the first break dancer.
And that narrative that hip hop has had 3 founding fathers, that's been rolling for the last almost 30 years, which isn't true. You don't have just 3 people who created hip hop. Hip hop was created by a number of different people.
I am the grandfather, the godfather of the graffiti culture. I am the first element of hip hop.
The roots of hip-hop being Jamaican, absolutely false.
My name is MC Sha-Rock. I am a founding member of the MC/rap culture.
Cassette tapes was the internet of our time. It just traveled around by hand.
I know for a fact that the B-boy stand started from the guards, the 5%ers that would be at the jams back in the days who were acting as security.
If they get the real truth of how it all was created, then so many lies would not be able to be in existence.
So when we talk about hip hop and what it is, it's an extension of the music and the instrumentation that our forefathers created.
Check out the live stream premiere of the documentary short, It's Bigger Than Hip Hop, The Black American Family Tree, and Q&A, a fundraiser to create a series detailing music's evolution. Go to DewanB.com for streaming passes and crowdfunding.